all the music that's going on now, if it's alternative or whatever, you know, that's what people like, and like say that is do that from the heart. So what we do is from the heart. You know, we're not that kind of music. We're hard rock and roll. You know, we're down the Aerosmith vein, you know, the Whitesnake vein. You know, so we're going to stick to our guns until someone looks and says, man, well, actually the people from A&M have said, you know, good rock and roll never goes out of style. You know, and that's the truth. You know, I mean, Aerosmith, I mean, these guys are 40-something, not going out of style.
The last time you were on, I said, Baby Jane's a song that you hear once, and I said, that's a hit. You know, that song is a hit. And you played around with it a little bit on this.
Well, what we did was we took a good song and just kind of emphasized little things, like
refined it. Made them a little bit more accessible.
Yeah.
Maybe, but maybe not. You know, I mean, it's whenever you bring a producer in, that's just another guy's vision,
right?
You know, and an opinion, what he thinks. You know, well, I think it should be more like this. I mean, and that's just something that you have to be willing to take on, because a producer, when he walks in, I mean,
he's going to make changes.
Yeah, and
if he feels he has to. In other words, if he comes.
Which is almost all the time. Because,
right.
I mean,
or you
even,
wouldn't need a
producer. Even if it's an ego thing.
Yeah.
You know, if he walks in and goes, well, this is all fabulous. I don't think I need to change anything. You
I
know,
don't
first thing you say, well, you know, what do we need you for?
Right.
Then, you know, so of course, well, you know what, that's a great song, but let's do this and this. And then, you know, oh, see how much better it is. Because everybody, including the labels, want to be able to say, hey, we helped make this. You know, they don't want to sit back and go, we signed them just how they are right now. You know, we didn't do anything.
So was that hard for you to sort of say, okay, what do you think we should do? You know,
well,
throw it out to somebody else?
Personally, for me, I don't ask them what I think they should do, because I know they're going to offer enough without even to add it. You know, it's like it's sometimes you've got your line there drawn, and you let people you work with you and say things and do things, and then when they get in that little area, as far as I know, speaking for myself, that's when the guns come out, and I'm like a little bit like, well, you know, you're kind of traipse on something now that you need to like go back over there, you know, because it gets weird. I mean, we were working on a song in the studio even with Frankie, and that I love working with Frankie, and have worked with Frankie a lot, and I don't even recall what song it was, but I was standing out there with the band, and we'd come to a part, and he was like a little bit wondering like maybe what we should do, and he goes to me, he goes, well, Kenny, you know, it's your band, your song. What do you think? He meant it kind of sarcastically. What do you think we should? What's your idea? And you know, and I mean, I felt maybe we went a little bit too far on that. So I said back to him, "You hear what you're hearing?" And he goes, "Yeah." And he goes, "Well, this is my idea." You know, I mean, so he knew like, okay, you hear what I think.
See, what happens too in a situation like that is you get to meet the person and you get to spend some time with him. So you know, if you're working with someone that's of notoriety, you know somewhat of what you're getting into before you actually get behind closed doors. You know, you hear their work before, you know where they take, you know, bands in different directions. So with Frankie, it was kind of a situation where we knew, you know, what he was all about. We met him. He came down and, you know, flew down to see us before. So we met him, we rehearsed with him, and we got a really good vibe off him. So when we went actually in the studio and closed the doors, it was like, yeah, this is pretty good.
Yeah, you're ready for it.
Right. Yeah, well, the cool thing about him, and the reason why we worked with him beyond what he has done in the past, was the fact that he loved the band.
Right.
You know, I mean, I think all of us will be ready to put on our gloves even after we get signed if they bring in a producer that's like going, well, I think this should happen, and this is like, you know, we'll all be ready to go, you're crazy.
Yeah.
You know?
You've got, I hate to use the word raw, but it's like a raw rock and roll, gutsy sort of sound, and you might not want to overproduce it.
Yeah, right. That's basically what we do. You know, we have like raw rock and roll, and we refine it to a point where people can say, that still sounds ballsy, that's still rock and roll.
Yeah.
And it sounds like, you know, I think our music sounds like it's real. You know, and it sounds like it's from the heart, and it sounds like five guys could play it. You know, when you hear it, you don't think, they could never do this. You know what I mean? Like you hear a lot on the radio. You hear things and it's like, well,
how they
obviously they can't do that. You know, but
studio trickery.
I mean, we sound on tape pretty much what we sound like live. I mean,
what
that's
you see
it.
Is what you
Exactly.
know.
I mean, there's not really any tricks to our the way we go about things. You know, we write songs and we put them together and we go in and record them, and that's what takes place. I mean, it's not like we get in there. Well, now that we're in here, you know, we'll do all this. You know,
hey,
bring
let's get the orchestra.
Yeah.
Roll into gear,
you know.
right? No, it's
You were talking a little bit before, Kenny, about your fan base, and something that I think is really neat, and I don't know too much about it, so you're going to need to tell me. When you did the Miami showcase last weekend, you guys, you hired a bus or something to get some fans up there. Tell us about that, because it's something that you don't hear too often.
Basically what we did, we had a lot of fans that wanted to follow us. And, they were always saying, God, we'd love to come down and see you, but we have no way to get down there. It's so far, and we really want to come down. We really want to support. So what, management did for us, he said, look, if you guys really want to come, I'll make it convenient. And basically that's how it is. And actually what we're thinking about doing is doing that more often, because, it's an easy thing to do. It doesn't cost a lot, and, the rewards that you get back is, when you're in a different town and you get to see all those friends and all those faces, it makes you get off more. You get...
It kind of scared us the way it happened, but it ended up being better than ever, because when we started to go on, we were waiting for a guy that was coming to see us to get there, and our manager was there, and he sends back word, he's here. Go on. But the bus isn't there. The bus isn't there, though. There's like 500 people in the place, which is a good crowd, but down at the button, it's kind of like, they're real... it's kind of like standoffish, a lot of band people in there. I can do that, and I can do it better. Syndrome is going on.
Big and cold.
But we had a lot of people there, and we said, damn, this really is too bad. The bus is going to be late. I mean, there's 50 people on this bus, and 50 people stand in front of your stage is a lot of people. And plus it loosens up everyone else. So we go up there, and they introduce the band, and we start off, and I turn around, and there it comes. It arrives right there. So what was so funny is, as the rep was kind of up on near the bar, and then he walked down with our manager, like right to the front, and he was standing there, and I could see him, and all these people, like 50 people, just boom, come up to the front of the stage, and he has no idea that we had a bus.
Right.
He's thinking, my God, look at these guys started, and all these people. So I was up there, I couldn't hardly keep my big smile in, because I was like going, this is hilarious. Because they're all coming up, they have Heartless shirts on, and there was quite a few of them, because it was a 5 or 6 hour ride that had been drinking, so they were ready to ride. They were pumped up,
They got off that bus, it was like,
yeah, so it was funny. It really was. It was hilarious.
It was, it was a really good idea on our management's part.
Absolutely. It ends up giving you that energy that you needed, that they're the familiar faces. These guys see us all the time. Well, they know the words to the song.
Yeah, and it loosened, but it brought more of those people in, because also most people in the club, 99% of them did not know that there was a bus outside. They just thought, wow, these people are into it. It must be cool to be into it,
Absolutely. But you know what's intimidating? You go into a bar, and there's a great band on stage, and nobody's dancing. Nobody wants to be the first one to get up there and
make the move.
Should I go rock and roll?
Well, that's exactly what that did, though. That loosened them up, and all of a sudden you start seeing people milling around behind them, and then it ended up being a fantastic
party.
night.
It turned out to be a big party. So what we did was we just created an atmosphere. We didn't give anybody that chance to be the first one. It was just everybody was first.
Great idea.
And our manager worked it out so that if you rode on the bus, you got into the club for free.
Yeah,
so it really helped.
We're thinking about doing that more often.
And you really do work with your fans. I mean, you send out the newsletters.
Yeah, that's a great thing.
always. Yeah, it is a good thing. People need to know where you are, what you're doing.
Sandy, that does our fan club, is phenomenal. We couldn't do it without her. I mean,
they handle all our promotions for us like that.
But we realize that our fans are. They're why we do this.
Sure.
When we come out, everything that they give us, that's what we're trying to give them, because it's a ongoing relationship. Believe me, I mean, there's nothing
and
like
we don't
seeing
forget.
it.
One of the really neat things that you're doing, obviously, the Tampa Bay Music Awards, July 3rd at the Tampa Theater. You guys are going to do a song.
One song. Yeah.
One song.
Actually,
we have to play that night.
We're playing that night.
Oh, you will?
We have a show.
We have a show
in Bradenton.
Down in Bradenton that night.
Man, well, I'm glad that you're at least showing up to do that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we want to just be a part of it. We realize Tampa Bay's doing it, to help out musicians and, local, rock scene, and this is what we're part of. This is where we're from. So we want to try to support as much as we can, because they've given us so much. We want to give a little bit back to them.
Absolutely. You've been nominated Best Songwriter, Kenny, and the band, Best Rock Band. How important is it to you to win? Is it like something that you're going to sit there and go, we don't, what does this mean? Or is it just, all right, we didn't, so it's
I think it serves two purposes. Last year I was nominated for Best Male Vocalist, but I didn't win. But I mean, when I didn't win, but I still felt good that I was thought of.
Sure.
So I mean, I think that's kind of being nominated. We read it, we see Best Rock Band, Best Songwriter. It's even not winning. There's only like 3 or 4 other guys named, and 3 or 4 other bands named, so you can't feel bad.
Absolutely.
You know, you have to feel good. I mean, of course you want to win. I mean, everybody wants to win.
Okay. Well, guys, we've got yout coming on a little later. We've got some videos to play, but we also have some phone calls. So let's quickly take a call.
Okay.
Rick, how are you tonight?
I'm doing fine. How about yourself?
We're doing great. Do you have a quick question for Heartless?
Well, yeah, sort of. It's a quick one. How you going, guys?
Good. How you doing, Rick?
I've seen you guys a few times. Let me say that. Every time I've seen you, I've always had a face in the dirt good time. I mean,
Great.
Thanks for the support, man.
and I got your tape, and I play whenever I can, and you guys do a good job. Man.
Play it till it melts.
Here's my question, real quick. With the new band, all the new bands coming out, with the way how old rock and roll is, do you think it's hard for a new band to come out with their own little groove without being like typecasted in a way, saying, "Oh man, you sound like Black Sabbath," or is it hard for new bands to come out?
Well, I think any band that comes out is going to be compared, and if it's from the look or the sound. And I think it is extremely hard for new bands. But I think that goes back to what we were talking about earlier, to making sure that you're on a label that is going to stand by you and most likely just weather the first bad storm that comes, you know, and stick by you, because you're going to be compared all the time to people, even people you don't even look or sound like. I mean, I've been compared to people, and the band has. It's been like,
So give us an example. Who have you been compared to that you've been like, what?
The obvious. I mean, you know, if you have 5 guys on stage with long hair, you know, you're going to compare it to any band from 10, 15 years ago that was on stage with long hair. No matter what type of music you have. As far as our look, as far as our music, I mean, you know, the commercial rock and roll. You know, obviously.
I've heard strange ones, but I can't. Just the other night I heard one, and I can't think of it now, and it was really like
off the wall.
Really like a more popular, much popular band, because although Baby Jane has been very successful for us, I mean, if you come see us and you think it's just going to be a set of Baby Jane, you're in for a big surprise, which I think that's what most bands are about, though. You know, I mean, what you hear on the radio is more accessible to everyone, you know, and you go see them, and it's usually like, whoom.
Well, that's radio. That's AOR. You know, that's what's good for, you know, what it's good for, and a lot of times what it's bad for, because what they'll do is they won't expose the true side of a band. You know, they'll just take what's friendly and they'll take what's safe. They'll put it on the radio, which in a way is good, but a lot of times in certain situations, not ours, of course, but in situations where a band will have a song and it'll be completely different from what they are. And a lot of times the public will get misled by that. You know, so
although sometimes the band doesn't do it like on purpose, like Extreme, for example, More Than Words. I mean, that's on Q105 and stations of that sort.
Exactly.
And if those people were going to those shows thinking it was going to be, I mean, when those guys come out with Get the Funk Out, you know, it's like,
It's like,
whoa,
what?
you know.
They won't hate it, right?
You know?
They're in for a shock.
Exactly.
After More Than Words came out, the rest, even of the music that came out before that, kind of got recycled. Hey man, this is a new song by Extreme.
Yeah. Isn't it weird when you get that when a record? I go through that, being a fan of rock music all the time. I'll have an album for a year and a half, and I'm still hearing DJs going, "This is the new single from Aerosmith," and it's like,
that's because the radio people sometimes take a long time to get it out.
And also they want to seem on top of it, and it's hard to believe that the album buying part of the public sometimes is so different than the people that listen to radio. You know, they just listen and they flip around and they stop when they hear the song that they want to hear. They're not out buying albums. You know, most of those people that they're trying to hit.
Right.
You know, because the people that are buying albums, you know, album cuts off a lot of records are sometimes my favorites. You know, on a SOS Aerosmith record, I mean, you know, it's over and over on that album. You know, the album cuts are the ones I loved. You know.
Rick, did that answer your question?
Yeah, I got one for you though, Kat.
Oh, what is it?
Are you going to be giving any zebra tickets out?
Oh, you know what? What do you think? How much trouble do you think we'd get in if we gave a pair away?
Oh, I think you could do that.
I think you could probably give a couple pair away.
Rick, all right. Tell you what, we're going to do it. And
just for you, Rick. Live on the air.
These guys will talk to Fred about it later. I will be out of town this weekend, so I'll be safe. But yeah, you've got a pair of zebra tickets. That show's happening tomorrow night at the Rocket Club.
Keep rocking, man.
All right,
Thanks,
man.
Rick.
Thanks a lot.
Hold on. Joy, do you have a quick question?
Hi guys, I just want to tell everybody that Heartless is the best band.
Oh,
It
thank
will be
you.
going international.
Thank you.
And to remind everybody that merchandise is sold at every show.
As you can tell, that is our merchandising girl, Joy.
There you go. Ain't there's nothing wrong with some publicity.
No.
Our merchandising people are really great.
You do have great T-shirts. I really can't say on the air what they say, but
Not that.
they are great. They are great. Joy, thanks a lot for calling.
Thank you.
Thanks, Joy.
Shirts also for the family if they want children.
I'm sorry.
One more time?
PG-rated T-shirts.
Oh, yeah.
gee.
Yeah, we have T-shirts that don't say things on them that, the kids can wear. Yeah.
The fam
better.
T-shirts.
All right, Joy, thanks for calling.
Thanks, Joy.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Aside from the music awards, the next really big show that you're doing is at the Rocket Club. It's July 11th.
July 11th.
Tell us about that because it's going to be videotaped.
Yeah, for Fox.
Actually, it's live.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's being broadcast live from the Rocket Club via satellite. I always wanted
For
to say
Fox
that.
Television.
Via satellite. You always said via satellite. Never knew what it meant, but I mean, that's via satellite.
Good.
Yeah, it's a big show for us, not only because it's, been a while since we played here in Tampa, a couple of months, it'll be a couple of months.
By then, yeah.
By then, it's a second time seeing by A&R.
A&M is coming.
A&M is coming again, so we really want a lot of people to come out for that, as they always have.
Exactly, and support these guys.
Yeah, and it's, going to be a big show for us. It's going to be a big show. So we just
Good.
want to have everybody there, right?
Yeah.
Everybody be part of it.
I really want to wish you guys all the luck in the
Thank you
world.
very much.
You're a real great band, and there's a lot of people out there that support you. And you've also promised
I
me.
knew this was coming. I knew this was
I'm
coming.
going to watch what I say though on this one, Tommy.
This could be a G-rated, or this could be
This
an
will be
R-rated?
G-rated.
Okay, it's a G-rated.
These guys promised to get the whole band up here for an hour.
An hour.
And they're going to do the entire show. They're going to do some acoustics, and possibly by then maybe we can steal some videos from the Fox thing. I don't know. We'll talk to Fred about it, see what we can work out.
Yeah.
And they might, you guys might, get a little crazy and do something a little different
We
that
might
night.
do a surf set.
Yeah.
Surf.
We'll save.
That was safe.
We'll save.
Good luck with everything, and thank you very much for
Thank
stopping
you.
by tonight.
Pleasure to have to hear from everybody.
Good. I want to tell you that somebody else that we're going to try and get on in the near future is Giselle. She will be performing at the Tampa Bay Music Awards. And
Been in a lot of other bands, but when they all came together at a unit, they seriously kicked some ass. Ladies and gentlemen, put it together for Heartless!